Hey everyone, this is Stingray coming to you live from Floresville. And I've got to say, yesterday was different from what I expected and similar to what I expected. And I'm saying yesterday, but I'm recording this and it's actually today. The same day that I recorded the video talking about this meeting that I was going to, meeting of the minds. So I got to talk a little bit about my portion of what's going on for some time. I got to listen to a lot of stories and hear what's going on in other people's lives. It was really interesting, you know, how quickly we can see and not see one another. And the fact is, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. I'm not going to squeak for nothing. I hardly would bat an eye if somebody were punching my arm right now and I knew that they were out of their mind. They didn't mean to be doing it. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. And in fact, I'm not going to lose any sleep over how the meeting of the minds went today. I'm going to go to sleep absolutely hopeful for the very miracle that we prayed for as a family together. Can you believe that? We got to pray together as a family where I led the prayer. And I believed with full intent the words that I was saying. And all I need is one other person to have done the same thing. And I had people pray with me, which was, that moved my heart, man. That was, you know, it's like not a difficult prayer. Once we had a second person chime in, the cards, the dominoes started to move. The house that we built comes crashing to the ground. And all the pain and the guilt was lost, but now it's found. Something along those words are how I wrote a song called House of Cards. House of Cards talks about a story that is talking about the obliteration of the illusion that we are all somehow independent. Nah, baby. We've come to be codependent on one another. The only people who are not codependent on one another really have something different about them. I don't feel the need to be dependent on someone else's decisions, although I'll celebrate with anybody the decisions that we want to celebrate for. Yesterday there was a celebration. Again, it was really today, but I'm talking as if this is tomorrow because this is going to post tomorrow. It's going to be the Memorial Day miracle, not the one with Sean Elliott. Although, if my mind serves me correctly, that is an actual thing. I mean, I was making it up, but also pulling it from a data bank, my mind, that has this information. Collectively, we're connected. We all know this is true because as I explain these things over and over again, and how the downfall can be turned around to a windfall, almost miraculously, almost as if overnight, as I showcase these things, I become a teacher. And that's why I talk the way I do, to include the full example of what's happening. We don't always know what the full example is until we hear the story. And we don't always hear the story until we stop shaking our legs. You know, do you guys, let me tell you an example of anxiety that it's something that runs in the family and it's contagious. Have you ever been in a restaurant and you see someone shaking their leg? You know, they've got their one foot down and their knee is bouncing up and down. I say those people, that's the same as me. I can get nervous too under certain conditions, but I'm not sitting there always shaking my leg. However, that doesn't mean I'm not nervous on some level. But I recognize it because I've been nervous before. When I was having this meeting today, with the meeting of the minds, we came up with a lot of beautiful ideas as far as what could help. And we even incorporated right then and there some of the ideas that came to mind, which included prayer. How fantastic is that? And how easy was it as well? Sometimes our tongue is harder to move when we've hardened our hearts out of fear, because we think we know the answer. We think we know God's plan already without ever asking God to, hey, you take the reins. I'm in a full spin. Oh, whoa, my car's out of control. You take the wheel, God. However you see my messages, whether I'm peppering in examples that are your particular flavor or not, if I were to have instead said, Allah, take the wheel. Buddha, take the wheel. I don't got this. Krishna, take the wheel. I don't got this. I don't have this. Dad, take the wheel. Or son, take the wheel. If I would have said it any other way, does something offend you, or does it cause any kind of anxiety? If you're suffering from anxiety, let me tell you, these are side effects of not being calm. I've been nervous before, but in today's meeting of the minds, I wasn't really nervous so much as I was excited, energized, passionate, because I had something to say with my family. At the time when I walked into my family, I said, it's almost like I'm interviewing for a position, whether I'm worthy of. The family was interviewing for me. Are they my family or not? And that's also true. Ding, ding, ding. It's all true. We check in and check out so often that we interview one another for a position, and don't hesitate to think that everything is a disposable option. I've got a sick family member who this family meeting happened to allow us the discussion of, although it wasn't for that, it was just we really hadn't gotten together in a long time. Again, we found out about this gathering, which was pre-planned in such advance that I'm aware that people knew about it for more than 2 days. It doesn't matter to me. The fire that Dad set, it couldn't go out too easily. My dad is efficient and effective, but he doesn't really follow the rules completely. And in some cases, there's a considerable lack of responsibility, which causes toddler-like responses from basically someone in an adult body who can do some serious damage. Needed some help yesterday when I was talking with my family. I was able to voice my concerns. I was able to see people who we haven't seen one another in a long time, if ever at all. And I became pleasantly aware of even my own awareness and how it fluctuates back and forth, because even though I'm not nervous about the outcome, I have a lot going on in my mind. It's just not occupied primarily with all of the traditional aspects like sports and nothing wrong with sports, but sports and casinos and whatever things come to mind from yesteryear. I have more of a fixation on all these flowers that I'm still driving by, and the fact that I still haven't hit a single insect. No matter how your conversations go every night, mine include hope for all of the wildlife, all of God's creatures in these challenging times, that every life has some comfort to take from, some value, such that we wouldn't just want to go out of our way to stomp on it and put it out like a fire waiting to happen if we see a spider or a snake. And in a way it is. It's a fire of conversation that's waiting to happen because somebody out there, I don't know who it is, I'm just pushing dominoes at random here, but somebody out there is going to say something so relevant that somebody else cannot help but hear the story and go, God, this is deep. You're telling me how someone got through addiction. You're telling me, you're showing me the keys to free myself. If you don't want to talk with anyone, if you don't want to talk with anyone, that's fine. Please, you're still anonymous when you like and subscribe and even comment on certain things. You're not so anonymous that when you comment on things, even on your own personal profile unrelated to mine, that people can't figure out what you're about. Nobody is that anonymous. We all know what we all face on a more or less regular basis. What is habitual, what is necessary even, and that can sometimes cause concern. Some of us might fear what we're thinking about because it goes against some of the absolute foundations of who we thought we were, to hear these thoughts that talk about a significant decline in insects and wildlife, that talk about we're really just pacifying ourselves when we come up with, well, entertainment-based pleasures. All of what we do needs to be honoring the Creator. Whether we have a home that we can restore without putting lighter fluid to, or whether we have nothing, absolutely nothing, except for the space that we're sitting in. We can clean up our space. If I were without home, living under a bridge, I could pick up the cups, the bottles, whatever accumulates in that area. I can do that. I can care for myself. Not everyone can do that if they have nothing else in the hope bank. How do we add hope to somebody's bank? You have to show whatever translates into hope in that era. For me, I hope some of you are helping contribute to the monetary woes that I had previously suffered, so that I can easily free people from bondage who are ready, who want freedom from bondage. All I need is the miracles that I'm able to leverage with the assistance of improving my income. Am I doing the work? Am I offering something for sale? I feel like I don't want to offer something for sale because I've just talked about all of the plastic and rubber and rubbish all over the highways. I have found baseball caps. I have found socks, shoes, t-shirts, all kinds of clothing in all of these environments. And we still want more. That kind of stuff can drive someone crazy enough to want to set fire to the whole system and burn it all down. Some of you guys might think I'm being irreverent or that I'm hammering away at a point too many times, but you have to accept responsibility to the point where you can hear the whole message that someone's telling you about yourself. That's accepting and being at peace, to where you can accept criticism from within the environments that you are willingly participating in. even those who are burning their own structures down generally are willingly participating in their own circumstances. There's nobody controlling you but you. If you're hearing this and you think I'm speaking with you, click on the like button and type something. I think you're talking to me, Ray. I need help, Ray. I need help. You, as above, so below. Let's help one another out. Let there be peace on earth. And let it begin with... Oh, no. That's okay. You go first. Oh, no. Actually, let it begin with me. You see how that goes? You got to leverage peace to receive peace. If you strike out at something, it's going to strike out at you. Might not be today. Might not even be tomorrow. But I assure you, there is something about that entity that comes around with payback. What is payback called? I don't remember. But there's something about it that will help you remember when the time comes. For me, I'm going to sleep well at night. I had the discussions I couldn't have dreamed up the opportunity to have. And then again, maybe I have. As I look back through my dream journals when I was recalling dreams frequently, which I expect to resume now, especially after that roadblock was removed, as I go through my dream journals, I think I have had these conversations with family in my dreams. My life's rehearsal, life is but a dream. My life's rehearsal in my dreams is usually about avoiding my number one concentration breakers. Occasionally I'm playing guitar. More often than not, I'm talking with family, but I'm really usually talking to larger audience, trying to discover whether or not I'm imagining a nationwide extreme sudden decline in insects. I'm wondering if it's just my daytime experience that I'm able to drive all these miles, see all these flowers, and go between cities or states for 30 hours straight after it's rained, while it's dry, when it's warm, when there's a blizzard, and only see scant insects, which should be alarming enough to where even those who have addictions to certain activities might be more than valuable in helping to restore the right of the world. In other words, some people might be doing things to entertain themselves, to become oblivious to the system that's in place, because there's no other option really without that tie-in to monetary constraints. There's no other option that people can see that might give someone hope. And then if you told someone, hey, this year for your taxes, I'd like you to plant 10 fruiting plants in your own backyard. That's your penalty. And we all begin to plant plants of inspiration together. Something like that might be radical enough to give someone more meaning to life than they've had in the past. You have to have a want to live, to help, to really enjoy this experience that we have as humanity. So yesterday's meeting, I think we talked about that. There were a few stern, posturing type discussions. And overall, nothing that was said was out of bounds. Everyone wants the same thing. We all want a safe, reasonable, responsible outcome for the person or persons who are struggling with addiction. And all we want is for everyone to enjoy the experience in a way that makes sense to everybody. So that we're not going through life wanting to entertain ourselves away from the experience opportunities that we have with one another. Sometimes there's a holdup that gets things backed up. And sometimes opportunity presents itself and you have to find those moments, seize them, and that doesn't take any violence, just takes action. Faith is nothing without action. So if you've got anything going on in your life that, like I said, you want to discuss, whether you want to do it anonymously or with nature, talk to the trees, whether you don't have the chance to do it anonymously and you want to reach out to someone, send a message, click the like button, hit subscribe, do something that's based on the fabric of reality and currency exchange that you can feel good about. I'm not asking for boatloads of money just to have the purpose of having money. I'm asking for clicks, and I'm clicking the things that I appreciate. If I see things that I like, I click like. I try not to comment anymore on some of the things that I really don't like. I want to defend everything the same way that anyone would want to vigorously defend something that needed to be defended. And I also want to defend myself. I don't want to be punched in the arm anymore by a bully. I don't want the family to go without talking about these things for so long that it becomes a mental health issue to someone in the family. I don't want mental health to go unnoticed or unchallenged or unaddressed in ways where we just give in and go, yep, can't fix that. Let's let them just kind of go through life the way they are. Because, you know, as long as we've got a power of attorney signed, everything else will be okay. My God. I feel like, speaking of God, I feel like a god when I drive. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I feel like I could travel at light speed and navigate faster than anyone has humanly known in the past. It's my favorite pastime to drive. A master of driving. Master! Metallica, Master of Puppets. It talks about addiction. Master! Where are those dreams that I've been after? Chop your breakfast on a mirror. It's a song about addiction. Some people don't understand or resonate with topics that are harsh because it challenges the mind into a place where it can become uneasy based on past experience with that subject or based on basic shame or stigma. It's the truth. That's why when someone accepts responsibility for the wrongs that have been committed, it can hurt. It can hurt to think, I used to do these things. It can hurt to think, I used to hurt people this way. That self-forgiveness part is the energy that pushes everything into place. And it pushes it in a way where it's not even pushing. Where it allows God's will. You know, we can fight the system. We can fight it as hard as we can and not quite incorporate any kind of success, or we can accept the system. I'm a part of the system. You can fight the system, or you can accept the system. You're listening to this. You're listening to this because you're part of the system. If you're part of the system, you're listening to this because you're learning something with me and you're helping to share that message. You're either helping or you're trying to hinder. And if you try to hinder me, I don't know what to say except for if you're on YouTube, do a search for times when Michael Jordan took it personal. If you have a Michael Jordan who you're up against, and you try to hinder them, they might take it personal. And if you take something personal, you're going to go and run with it to the point where it's like obliteration to the very foundation of what we knew before. You can challenge me all you want by listening to this and not doing those basic participation requests, like sharing the video. There are people in your circles, including yourself, who have gone through abuse to the point that you're hearing this. So the fact that you're sharing this is only sharing, hey, I understand this guy. He's not violent. He doesn't want to call anyone out. He just needs his call a friend option. Call a friend or family member. Nobody is alone in these experiences until we've isolated ourselves with only the notion that we need power of attorney to proceed with anything that could happen next. Like, the power of the attorney is the most useful thing. These propagated situations where we trust more in some kind of paperwork than we trust in giving God the opportunity, the glory, the higher power, giving the higher power the opportunity, the glory, giving Allah the power, the opportunity. When we shy away from our faith, giving the hostile energy of the universe that's supposed to be just right no matter what, atheist, however you see that, I don't see it one way or the other. I was trying to think of the opposite of, hey, peace. And the other opposite would be like, burn it down. Whatever it is that's needed, let His will be done. And don't panic. You're here, right? You're listening to this. How can you panic? Anyway, very close to home now, and covered a lot of ground. I even made 2 days worth of videos here for your enjoyment. I hope that you enjoyed them. I hope you clicked on like, subscribe, or shared the information here. I'm looking for some monetization options or some way to forego money as the currency in exchange for helping to rebuild a life, one life at a time. You can only focus on one thing at a time. Some people need help, some people don't. In this particular case, I only am concerned with the fact that I've recently seen people struggle with something that I know that I can help with, if I'm given the opportunity to do so. And in order to do that, I just need a little bit of time. Money, time, isn't one the same as the other? Time is money. I could seriously use some time to do these things. Your help would be greatly appreciated. Your understanding of and comprehension of these videos is needed. I need my intelligent people out there who believe in faith, integrity, and gratitude. And let's call this FIG with 2 G's also generosity. When you're generous, it's because you have. I'm generous. I don't have money, but I'm generous because I have everything I need all the time. And everything that I have, I can leverage to help other people. My bank is not empty, not yet, nor will it ever be. But that's secondary. That's all secondary. The illusion of money is nothing. I could have $1 million or 10 cents in my account. I still want primarily to help the person that I'm trying to help right now through a struggle. And so I've helped myself. I've shown the cycles of different food and what it can do. I've gotten to the point where I haven't gotten sick. We were talking about ionized water in one of the conversations that I was having. We're talking about eating less meat, if at all, or just occasionally eating meat. I'd didn't get to go into these concepts that like seasonally across the nation, we all have our own regional things that grow naturally more easily and more abundantly. I didn't have time to go into all the environmental aspects of it, and yet I did it. Because again, here you are. There's the sun. See it? See it back there? Isn't this beautiful? Don't you enjoy riding along with me when I talk about these things? Do you understand this story that I'm talking about? And how stubborn some of us are? How frozen our tongues are when we refuse to talk and speak up? Use your voice. My dad said one time when he was under the influence of some kind of a spiritual demonic attack, use your voice. He said, use your voice. I'm doing it. Now the thing is, who's listening to this? How is it getting to that level where it's of any benefit? Is this of any benefit to you? Let me know. Have a great day. Got the cops flying by. Got the slow traffic in front of me that's guiding us home safely. We got home safely. I'm blessed. Everything about this day has been so unique and amazing. I only wish that I had a little bit less fire to talk about, fire-related incidents to talk about. And at the same time, it's part of the plan. It's part of what I was supposed to do for whatever reason. So thanks for inviting me into your living room. Thank you for listening to what I was saying. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being you. Have a great day. Peace, love, and all that old school stuff.